Sham's Makeup Artistry, and in today's review I'm going to review a setting powder by MAC, and it's none other than the collaboration with MAC from Patrickstarr. This is Patrickstarr's setting powder. Most of you must have known who Patrickstarr is. He is a beauty guru and he actually collaborated with MAC to create this setting powder. And Patrickstarr actually have more of like a deeper skin tone. And I of course wanted to check out on this setting powder because I heard a lot of raves on this particular setting powder, and Patrickstarr is really good at his makeup, so I definitely want to check out this collaboration. They did come out with a couple of more other styles like eyeshadow quads and also lipstick, but I kind of felt that they are very similar to many other shades that MAC has already come out. But I might pick up the red lipstick because it's kind of like looking very beautiful. I actually got to swatch it at the MAC counter itself, so I might get into picking that up before it's gone off the rack. So this is how the packaging of the powder looks like any other translucent powders. My very favorite one is the Kat 1D translucent powder at this point of time. I have long time ago tried out MAC's Prime and Set setting powder. It's kind of white and it doesn't really look white on the skin, it just looks white on its packaging. And this is the second time I'm actually trying out a setting powder by MAC. So again, this is how the packaging look like, and on the inside it's of course same like any other loose powders. They tend to get pretty messy, and you can see the shade right here is pretty much more like a peachy kind of shade. It doesn't look like a very typical yellow kind of shade setting powder. So it claims to be a colorless ultra fine powder that can be used to set makeup on face or body. Silky soft texture with matte finish beautifully stabilizes whatever makeup it is used to set and finish. The claim and benefits, it says best suited for emollient based products, sets makeup without disturbing color, dermatologists tested, ophthalmologists tested, and non-acnegenic. And it also says apply gently with a MAC professional puff or a large brush. So that doesn't really count because when you're applying translucent powder, any of the powder puffs or brushes that works for you, it should be fine. This particular translucent powder retails at $34, and it's kind of like not bad at a price point because when it comes to translucent powders, you only need a tiny little bit. A little bit goes a long way. And let's come to its claim. I personally have been using this translucent powder for a good 2 weeks. I personally like testing out products for some time before I actually come up and review for you guys, because I just want to be confident enough when I share out my review. And I do really like this powder for my under eye area. Usually I personally like setting powder that doesn't show my crow's feet through, because some setting powders tend to dry up my under eye area so badly, because I do have like a dry under eye area, and they emphasize all the lines awfully, and it makes me look 10 years older than my age, which we all don't want to be. And the only translucent powder that works the best when it comes to my under eye area has to be the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. This isn't their normal translucent powder, but it's their secret brightening powder. This doesn't emphasize any kind of dryness under the eye area, and it doesn't show my crow's feet through. At the same time, it brightens up the under eye area beautifully, and this hands down is the best that I have found for my under eye area. So when I was testing out the Patrickstarr version of setting powder, I definitely wanted to get a similar kind of effect for my under eye area, and I must say that this powder works beautifully for the under eye area. It doesn't show my crow's feet through, and it doesn't dry up my under eye, especially when you apply the concealer and then if you put a powder and it dries up, it kind of like crumbles on the under eye area. If you know what I'm actually trying to tell you, it's like an awful situation. So when it comes to a setting powder, I'm definitely very careful. I sometimes just skip setting the under eye area because I know that it's going to look awful end of the day. But with this setting powder, when it comes to under eye area, it sets in perfectly and it doesn't look white under the eye area. I'm actually wearing the setting powder under my eye area today. It looks pretty much natural and it brightens the under eye area beautifully. I've also tried using this powder for my entire face. So let's come to the entire face area. So like I mentioned, my under eye area tend to be drier than the other areas of my face. I do get oily on my T-zone area and also sometimes on my cheek area depending on the weather. Right now the weather is really cold, so I do not get like too oily. Only on my T-zone area I suffer from oiliness. So when I tried to use this setting powder for my entire face, I kind of felt that it looks powdery on me. It looks like I have a lot of makeup on me. It doesn't really look cakey, but it looks like I have something on, like I have a powder on. When it comes to translucent powders, I pretty much want it to look like my skin, but a little bit better than my very own skin. But with this powder, I felt that I do look like I'm wearing powder. Even now, I'm actually wearing it all over my face. When I'm looking at the camera, I kind of feel that I know that I have powders on my face. I personally do not prefer that. So my verdict on this particular translucent powder is, it's a pretty good powder. If you are a person who likes to set your entire face and you do not mind the makeup kind of look, then you might love the setting powder. But if you're a person who wants something natural to look much more like your skin, you might want to try it out. Like, you know, test it out first before you decide to purchase this particular setting powder. I'm not too sure whether the formula of this is like just designed for Patrickstarr, but I believe that MAC do have a couple more of translucent powders which will work similar to this one. Yet again, I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. I personally would only recommend this powder for under eye area. And the other reason I felt that it might look like I have the powder on my face is because I have combination to dry skin, that the powder doesn't really melt in my skin. But if you tend to have more of an oily skin, it might work much more perfect for you, if that does make sense. So I do hope that you found my very quick verdict on the Patrickstarr Set Powder by MAC being helpful for you guys. I do like the packaging. I do like the sturdy plastic packaging of this particular collaboration. To my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. I'm pretty sure that my next video is going to be up only after New Year. So I'm wishing you guys a very blessed year ahead, 2018. I'm definitely looking forward to another new year after a whole hassle year of 2017. To my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. Give me a thumbs up, share all the love and support, and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.